Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Voltron vehicle force from Action Toys. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, taking a closer look at the package here, we can see Voltron logo here, Vehicle Force, Action Toys. See the beautiful artwork. I don't know if these are actual photographs or just renders of the figure itself. It says 09. I wonder what the other figures were. You see every vehicle that is included in the air, sea, and land team. You can see the Aqua Fighter, the Strata Fighter, and the Turbo Terrain Fighter. So yeah, I've never opened this up. It's still sealed, so let's get him cracked open and see everything inside of the package. And here is how it comes laid out. You can see everything nice and beautiful in this clamshell, and we have this nice pretty robust instruction manual. It tells you how to build step by, it looks like excruciating step, because these are little pieces to build each one of the individual fighters. And then on this side, it's how to rearrange all the parts and pieces to build Voltron. I really like that it has like a, right here at the top right, it has a range of motion. It shows you how it can actually move and how far you can push it before, you know, you snap something, because these parts are very flimsy plastic. So just taking a closer look at each one of the pieces here, we have what I've always called the helicopter piece. We have the head jet kind of piece of our part here. Vehicle, we have another helicopter vehicle, the blue one here. I'm always going to call these by the things that I called them when I was a kid. This to me was always a submarine, even though, yeah, I mean, to me it just looks like a submarine. Thankfully, it is part of the Aqua Force, the Aqua team. The Sea Fighter. Here's the other submarine here, little part here. It's also part of the leg. We have the jet that forms the chest, which is really neat. We have his torso, but this is part of the Sea team as well. Here we have the one of the legs, and boy, that white piece right there is going to cause me some trouble here in a minute. I just know it. The other leg here, the other big tank. Then we have my favorite parts of the vehicles, which are these like little trucks. I mean, because they were like, it was very clear that this was a truck, you know, and this was a van. Very clear. The wheels do not roll. It's all one single piece of plastic there, except for some of the parts pop off. Here is one of the other vehicles with the hand. You can see how it pulls out and rotates. And then we have his lower torso, the third part of his torso here, part of the land team. And then we have the other car vehicle. Man, these colors, the black, the red, the blue, just bring me back to when I was a kid. We do have a couple of extra sets of hands these are splayed open, but they also have a little port on the bottom, so you can put the helicopter blades on there, which is really nice. They don't move or come out or anything. That's just the port for them. Then we have two gripping hands for his sword. If you want to put his sword in either hand, you can. One's red, one's blue. They're color coordinated to match the vehicles, which is really nice. And then let's sort of get after it. Let's see if we can dive into this and take a look at each part and how we're going to build. Let's build the three different teams first, and then we'll get after Voltron. And there we have it. There is the Stratos team, all completed in its little vehicle form. And I dig it, man. Gosh, this thing brings back so many good memories. we have the C team. Boy, the legs really give me a hard time, as you can see there, even sped up. But let's get after the land team. There we have the terrain team, or the land team. So let's get all these parts broken down, get back into this, the other side of this instruction manual, and see if we can figure out how in the world to form Voltron. Now I do want to show how to put the face plate on. You just have to get a nail underneath there and pop the little cover off, and then pop the new face plate in. And boy, that is a beautiful head sculpt. It looks great. And then you can just fit it there on the figure itself. And then we want to bring in the final piece here, the little jet that forms his chest. And there you have it. There is Voltron standing straight up and down. And I will say that there are some finicky bits, but I will say once it's all put together, it kind of moves nicely, but you do have to finagle it a little bit. There's some wonkiness here. The head's kind of like on this little ball joint. It can move around a little bit. The arms can move all the way around. They can rotate. They got some like a butterfly joint built in. So you got a little bit of range of motion there at the shoulders, which I really like. And let's see here, you can bend pretty far forward, which is pretty incredible, honestly. That works very well. And then the legs here, you can push them all the way out to the side. They do rotate forwards and backwards right at the hip. If you want to make sure you grab that kneecap and sort of bend the entire thing back, and you can get it to go pretty far back, which is pretty nice, even though the thigh connection is pretty loose. Then there is some swivel and some rocker there on the foot. Let's go ahead and get some of these hands popped out here a little bit, and then put on one of the other hands. Let's go ahead and see if we can fit this blade in there, see how the blade works, and then just fit this into his hand. And there you have it. And he looks really cool. I'm digging the way he's looking here, and that little the articulation in the hand and the wrist is really nice. But I also want to get this hand off and put in the gripping hand for the sword. So let's put that on, and then you know what? I forgot to show you guys the sword earlier. I apologize. It's cast all in this like silver plastic. It does have a really nice gold crest right there on the hilt of the sword, and he's holding it really, really nicely. He looks great. I will say there are some finicky parts and pieces here with these hips, but you know, that's just how it is. Standing straight up and down, he is right at 6 inches tall, so he's a pretty small guy. If you're expecting a big figure, you're not getting one. Here he is next to a Masters of the Universe Origins He-Man, and here he is next to a Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Copperhead, and you can see that he is significantly smaller than a G.I. Joe. Here he is next to a Mythic Legions, Bilbo's Broken Shield, always making a good appearance. And then here he is next to Luke Skywalker, a Black Series figure. So you can see he stands about the size of a smaller Black Series figure. But let's get this guy in some poses and see how he poses up. This pose in particular was particularly hard because the legs, right where the little submarines plug into the lower torso, the hip area, they want to pop out. That's not a very strong connection, and some of the parts are very small and seem very fragile, while the overall parts are very sturdy and substantial. But he's going to be in a straight up and down pose like this on my shelf. He's not the best vehicle Voltron on the market that you could spend your money on, but he is a pretty good value at like $50. I think he was like $45 or $50 on Big Bad Toy Store. But I just needed some vehicle Voltron representation on my shelf because I did enjoy this cartoon as a kid. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.